Here are the background facts about what happened on September 11th. So what we have here is at 5:45 a.m. on September 11th, Mohammed Atta and Abdul Aziz Almari. I might have butchered those names, but they were terrorists, so that's probably okay. Two of the intended hijackers passed through security in the Portland International Airport in Maine, and they board a commuter flight to Boston Logan International Airport. So they started out in Maine, and then they went to Boston. They boarded flight 11, which took off at 7:59 a.m. 76 passengers, 11 crew members, and 5 hijackers on board. We should note that all 4 of these planes that crashed down on 9/11, they were all heading towards California. 3 of them to LA, 1 to San Francisco. 8:15 a.m., flight 175 takes off from Boston, also headed to Los Angeles. There are 51 passengers, 9 crew members, and 5 hijackers on board. 8:19 a.m., a flight attendant on flight 11, Betty Ann Ong, alerts ground personnel that a hijacking is underway and that cockpit is unreachable. We're going to probably go back to that time frame a little bit because, as some people might know if they were around at that time, we didn't really know what was happening for a little while, and a lot of people thought it was an accident, obviously, at first when the first one hit. So that'll be an interesting timestamp to go back to. 8:20 a.m., American Airline Flight 77 takes off from Dulles outside of Washington, D.C., headed for Los Angeles. There are 53 passengers, 6 crew members, and 5 hijackers on board. This time stamp right here, I actually didn't know about, or maybe I did and I just forgot. But 8:24 a.m., Mohammed Atta, a hijacker on the flight 11, unintentionally alerts air controllers in Boston to the attack. So he actually meant to press the button to talk to the passengers, but instead was talking to the air traffic controllers in Boston. So at that point, it seems like they might have known something was going on. At 8:37 a.m., after hearing the broadcast from Atta on Flight 11, Boston Air Traffic Control alerts the U.S. Air Force's Northeast Defense Sector, who then mobilized the Air National Guard to follow the plane. Something else I really didn't know. 8:42, United Flight 93 takes off from Newark, New Jersey. This was after a short delay. It was headed for San Francisco, California. There were 33 passengers, 7 crew members, and 4 hijackers on board. For anybody who doesn't know a lot about 9/11, I think that Flight 93 is a heroic story. I'm sure you remember it, Brandon, about what happened with Flight 93, the last flight. And interesting hearing that there was only 33 passengers on that. And I think listeners will understand why if they don't know what happened, because that's not a lot of passengers as far as an airplane, and considering what they had to do. 8:46 a.m., flight 11. So that was the first flight, actually the one that Mohammed Atta was on when he accidentally pressed the button and alerted air traffic control. That one is the one that crashes into the World Trade Center's North Tower. All passengers aboard are instantly killed, and employees of the WTC are trapped above the 91st floor, 9:03 a.m. So on TV, I don't know if you remember, I was up early. I was up early enough to see the second plane on live TV fly into the second tower, the South Tower. But I was up before that, obviously. So there was only 17 minutes between the first flight that crashed into the North Tower and the second flight, Flight 175, that crashed into the South Tower, which is odd because in that time it felt like a long time.